This video is sponsored by DraftKings.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We got another UFC breakdown coming at you. UFC 305's main event, Plessis versus Izzy Adesanya. We're going to be breaking down each fighter. And let me know in the comments down below who you got winning this fight. Let's get into the video. What up, everybody? What's up, everybody? UFC 305 is this weekend. Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. DraftKings is giving new customers a shot to get in on the action all night long. New customers who bet just $5 get $150 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Wonderboy. The crown is yours. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy, where you can join in on all the fun and have a shot to win cash prizes. Let me tell you, UFC 305 is going to be a banger. With the flyweight co-main event, you have Steve Erceg versus Kai Kara-France, and of course, with the middleweight title on the line, you have Plessis versus Izzy Adesanya is coming back, baby. It's going to be blazing, baby. Let's go. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code Wonderboy and bet just $5 on any wager and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Wonderboy only at DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. Let's get it. Well, UFC 305, this Saturday, we got the main event, Plessis versus Izzy Adesanya, and I'm super excited about this one because it's been a while since we've seen Izzy Adesanya in the octagon. He's taken some time off since his loss from Sean Strickland, but I'm super excited to see him back. Not just see him back, but what kind of changes, what kind of evolution have we seen since he's been off? We all know my man Izzy Adesanya. We know his striking ability. We know how good this guy is. But what about my man Plessis? Like, who is this guy? What is this guy about? Well, let me tell you, this dude is tough. This guy is 21, wins with only 2 losses, and fought some of the best guys in the middleweight division. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about why Plessis is so good, and we'll start with his striking. Dricus has got some great wins over phenomenal strikers. I mean, Marcus Perez, he's got KOs. Even Trevin Giles, who's predominantly a striker, he's got wins over Darren Till, Derek Brunson KO'd him, and of course, one of the best strikers in the middleweight division in my eyes is Robert Whittaker. He's got a win over him, beat him with a jab, man. But what makes him so good when it comes to his striking? A few things. Number one, his relentlessness. The guy has got a gas tank for days. Now, he does show it in the fight. He will start to get a little sloppy when he's out there, almost like a drunken master, and that's kind of difficult to deal with. I remember in the kickboxing days, I would fight guys who are pretty technically sound, and I'd beat them pretty good, but then the guys that weren't so technically sound, they were a little awkward. I fought a guy who was literally self-taught. He was hard to deal with because he's throwing things left and right that I normally don't see when it comes to a guy who's technically sound. Basic 1-2-3s, bringing the hands back. They're throwing techniques from all angles, and Plessis does this great, actually. He's got an amazing blitz. The way this guy closes the gap, and you see it with literally every fight. He has this blitz to him that is relentless, man. I mean, he will blitz you all the way from one end of the cage to the next. But what's crazy, and you gotta be careful with this because Izzy Adesanya will definitely take advantage of this. When he does blitz, he keeps his chin directly up. He keeps it in the air. And I think with a guy like Izzy Adesanya, he can take full advantage of that. Izzy Adesanya can angle off and counter him. So Plessis, if he's gonna blitz, he needs to keep his chin down. But it's worked on other high-level strikers. As he fatigues, he'll start doing wild things, like I said before. Like, he's got a mean blitz right hand, and he'll use that blitz right hand into like a spin hammer fist. He'll use that blitz right hand, step through, and throw a spin back kick. Like, really awkward stuff, and it works, man. It's so different that it works. Now, when he's fighting mediocre guys, it's great, but when he's also fighting high-level strikers, like Izzy Adesanya, he's not afraid to threaten the takedown, right? You saw it against Darren Till pretty much right off the bat. He shot in, took Darren Till down, and held him down a lot of those rounds. So he will threaten. I do believe that he's gonna try to do so with Izzy, but Izzy's got such great takedown defense, and his feints are so important, it could possibly keep somebody like him away, but Obviously, some guys aren't that way. They just don't care about the feints, just like Sean Strickland. So Dricus might go that route. He might just keep his hands high and just walk forward, eating his punches and just getting on the inside and making this fight dirty. Like I said, he did that against Robert Whittaker as well. They ended up clashing, and in that clash, he ended up getting a head and arm throw, ended up taking Robert Whittaker down, but the fight did end up getting back up to his feet. Now, when he fights good wrestlers, on the other hand, he will threaten the takedown, but like against Derek Brunson, he got out-wrestled by Derek Brunson, but which is why he kept the fight standing. So if he feels threatened on the feet, he will try to shoot for the legs. Plan to see that during the Izzy Adesanya fight. I think that's what makes him so good. He's awkward, he's got an amazing blitz, he's relentless, got cardio for days, and he mixes it up. He's very intelligent when he goes out there. He studies his fighters well. Now, that said, what are some defaults? Number one, I said already one, he keeps his chin in the air. Dude, if you're not careful, man, Izzy Adesanya will take your head off. But two, if Izzy Adesanya can keep this guy backing up, I think he wins the fight. When it comes to defensive movement, he doesn't have any side-to-side movement. He backs straight up. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Robert Whittaker, but he will back straight up to the cage, and that can be dangerous. But you've seen him bounce off the cage. Guilty of that, Anthony Pettis. He will bounce off the cage and come back with something else, but I think he can get caught. If Izzy Adesanya can keep him on his heels, I think he wins the fight. He's got to learn to circle during this fight. Izzy Adesanya will stand there directly in front of him. He will also blitz. And if you get caught up against the cage with Izzy Adesanya, oh man, it's going to be very difficult to get out of that situation. He keeps his hands high, which exposes his body. So I'm sitting here watching this guy. I'm seeing like side kicks. There's not a whole lot of 185ers throw side kicks, but I'm seeing like front kicks, teeps to the body, hooks to the body. The body shots are there. So I'm pretty sure that he's kind of conditioned there, or you wouldn't keep his hands so high. He's also a big 185er. He's got to use his size. Now, what does each guy need to do to win the fight? Starting off with my man Dricus. He's got to make this fight super dirty. He's got to take notes from the Sean Strickland bout. He's got to keep Izzy Adesanya on his heels and back up against the cage. You're going to have to cut the cage off on Izzy. But with that said, your defense has got to be on point because he's going to try to counter strike you. Now, if his chin is up in the air, that's not good. Hopefully he'll keep his chin down. We'll see. I think if you can get Izzy Adesanya to the cage, lay on the guy. You see George St. Pierre, he'll do this to strikers. I bring this up a lot because he was kind of one of the first guys to do it. Randy Couture, he was also a guy who would tire people out just by laying on them on the cage. You got to take advantage of that. Get the guy up against the cage, lay on him, draw blood up to those shoulders, which will slow his punching down. Knee the legs, slow down his movement because Izzy Adesanya is super fast. If you can really get a lot of blood in those arms, make those arms tired, it's going to slow him down tremendously. Now, another thing, his cardio. He's got to use that to his advantage as well. Stay in his face. Keep Izzy Adesanya threatened. For instance, if I'm fighting my opponent, anytime that I back up, I'm giving my opponent opportunity to rest as well. So you got to be so, I guess, reliant and so confident in your cardio that you don't take a break during the fight. Now, it's a 5-minute round fight, all right? That's kind of difficult, but if you can stay in a danger range, right in a range where you can punch Izzy in his face and keep him on point, you can tire him out. Sean Strickland did it, man. He tired Izzy out because he was relentless. He also got Izzy backing up. Now, that's a little bit easier said than done when you're fighting somebody like Izzy, and we don't know what kind of changes Izzy has made. He's the type of guy that evolves. He gets better after every fight, and he's taken some time off. So there's got to be some things that this guy has been working on to show everybody he deserves that title. So that's another thing. You can do all the studying you want, but when you're facing Izzy Adesanya, be ready to fight a different fighter. Now, what does Izzy Adesanya need to do to win? Number one, keep him at bay. Use your feints. Use those front kicks to the body. Slow him down. Because Dricus is, like I said, he is a cardio guy. And if you keep those front kicks and knees to the breadbasket, it's going to do nothing but help you. At long range, using those front kicks. At close to mid-range, you can use those knees as well. Now, you're going to have to circle out because Dricus, I do believe he's going to try to him Izzy Adesanya. If you can get him backing up against that fence, Izzy's going to have to be precise. He's going to have to use his angles and take advantage of those angles. When Dricus du Plessis starts to blitz, you're going to have to either move to the right or to the left. I prefer going away to the opposite side of whatever hand he has in the back. because usually that's your power hand. And what Dricus does, he will start off with that backhand that starts the blitz. So if I was Izzy, I would start in an open stance. So for instance, if Dricus du Plessis has his right side forward, which means his left hand is in the back, that's his power hand. That's his move. He's gonna try to smoke you with that power hand to hurt you, to get you backing up. If Izzy can time it as he blitzes forward to circle to his left, moving away from the power hand, right? If I move to my right, the left hand's there. But if I move to the left, I'm moving away from the power hand, which makes it a little bit weaker. And if you can get that angle, that chin is sticking straight up in the air, and you can put him to sleep. Let me know down in the comments who you got winning this fight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, throw some likes down below, and of course, hit that bell so you guys know when that next upload is. Thank you for joining me, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, for this fighter breakdown, baby. Peace.